Hello, everyone. This is Alphawisdom, and I'm Mystic Cassandria. We are analyzing a woman's hand today. This is lesson 98, and we're going to try to incorporate as many of the things we've learned about the palm in this palm. We're beginning now with the fingers. As you scan this hand, you see there is a gap between each finger. Some appear wider than others, and the angle of the thumb in relationship to the index finger is wide. We can always also scan the skin texture. It's nothing, we do the best we can. We're talking about the smoothness of the skin or the roughness of the skin. As we could see, this is not a rough palm, so immediately we can eliminate the idea this person works outside. The person uses their hands and deals with coarse or rough material. If that's the case, of course it's going to affect the hands, the palms. So we see that. And we also check for leanings of fingers. These fingers tend to stand on their own, so we can say that this person does not have any problems in that area. We want to look at the tips today and see what we can cover with the tips. All right, we've learned about the tips. In this case, I would say this is somewhat conic, meaning that it's somewhat cone shape, somewhat, not looking like a cone, but similarities. Another one we could say is the square. So if you're analyzing and you're not sure, just check the characteristics and see which one would apply more so than the other. When we talk about square tips, it really looks like a square, and that's not quite square for this palm. But to get an idea what the square is square shaped. And the person tends to have the idea that everything must fall in its correct place or must have the right shape. This person is very careful when it comes to a format, a way things should be done. All right? Also with the conic, and the conic primarily appears on a woman's palm, although some men may have it. In shape, it forms a distinct cone on the end of the fingers and has many degrees of development. That's why I keep saying somewhat. Where the cone is not pronounced, in this case it's not, it shows less of the conic qualities, tending more to the square. So this person is somewhat in between the characteristics. Now, more on the characteristics here. The conic tips show the artistic, impulsive, quick, intuitive person, one to whom the beautiful and harmonious in all things appeals more strongly and who is very impressionable. They greatly love all that attracts the eye or pleases the ear and seems less a matter of labor than of enjoyment. So that gives you an idea of what the conic is like and also the square. Now, let's take a look at these gaps. Between the index finger and the middle finger, there's a little gap. This has to do with how you think, your thoughts. This person really likes their thoughts and appreciates their thoughts, so they like to make up their own mind. But since the gap is not that wide, we could say they do confer with others for their opinion, but in the end, they make the final decision. When there's a gap between the middle finger and the ring finger, this person is open to getting help as far as their business matters are concerned, especially finances. So here's a person that will invest. They're a little more trusting than someone who has no gap. Between the little finger and the ring finger, again, this is a person that's very clear about their work. They work alone. They may have their own business, but if they do not, and they're working with someone, they tend to make it clear in some way that they don't need to be told how things should be done. They can make up their minds or do the work on their own. That's just their opinion. All right, let's take a quick look at the thumb. The thumb has that curve, this wide angle, indicates generosity, and this person is generous. And with that curved down thumb, it appears to be, we could say that this person's thinking is flexible because the thumb shows your personality and how you think. All right, so let's go on to the palm itself. We have all the major lines visible. That is the major line, the lifeline. That's the one, as you already know, between the thumb and the index finger. It's a little disruption in childhood, and that doesn't clear itself until I'd say the early 20s when it gets better. And then it shows this person as they proceed in life. That lifeline looks clear. I don't see any disruption in the energy. The lifeline is interesting. Here's a lifeline, the headline. The headline is separated. It's not joined. That indicates a person who is independent. And it was independent from, seems like, from birth, because there is no connection to the family as far as the family's thinking. This person has a mind of their own and they branched out. And another thing that's quite interesting is the length of the headline. Now, this is a long headline. It dips down, but it starts and there's no breakage. Little stress on the headline in the late teens and early 20s, but that tends to clear up. So when we have a long headline, this highlights a love of speculation. Again, you see the wideness between the middle finger and the ring finger. Speculation, investigation, and probing into the past and future. This is a mind that has less concerned with action as so much analysis goes on before a decision is made. So they don't make decisions without careful checking and examining and make sure they know what they want to do. And incidentally, this is a fire hand, long hand and long palm and shorter fingers, fire palm. They do take risks. All right, let's go on and taking a look at the heart line. The heart line has a little disruption, but it's not much to really be concerned about. And here, this one goes up, and it has a couple of lines dropping just below. And we see those as it starts its turn up toward the index finger. So when we have the heart line curving upward, this is a heart line that is a romantic, upbeat, shows optimism, and high expectations from relationships. The more the line curves up, the more the person expresses their feelings. And there are many ways of doing that. So other things would be taken in consideration. Let's quickly look at the heart line. The fate line. See, the fate line seems to be coming from the ball of the lunar mount, and it's a straight line. So here's a person that is very focused on what they want to do. This work they're doing is by their own choosing, and it's service oriented. And then you see a line coming from the headline. And when that comes up, they're in the mid-20s. So they're getting support or some kind of help, could be financial, from the family or someone connected with the family that they consider trustworthy and family. And that moves up and continues on up toward the middle finger. And there is a Mercury line that we see that's headed toward the Mercury line, okay? And there are little lines there. We have some stress lines on the ball. We have family influences there, several members of the family. that they trust or they listen to. Okay. All right. We've come to the end of this analysis. So if you found that you like this, please give a thumbs up and of course subscribe and share. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be safe and be happy. Bye.